welcome to the very first Ask Andrea! Yay! I asked you guys on Twitter if you would send me your questions through my Tumblr Ask page, so I have some questions here I'm going to answer for you guys. First question comes from Anonymous. Off to a good start. Anonymous asks, why did you start YouTubing? I've known about the vlogging community for quite some time, and I was getting really interested in it. I have a lot of creativity, and I just really want to share it. The next question is also anonymous, and it is, how old are you? Guess. Everybody always guesses wrong. I'm 20. Next question is from future Wasmess. And it is, what's your favorite classic? This is such a difficult question. Probably my first was Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, but I also really like anything by Oscar Wilde, especially The Importance of Being Earnest. Julia Joanne Black asks, when is your birthday? It is in November. I have a beautiful fall birthday. I pretty much celebrate the entire month. Just call it mine. Another anonymous viewer asks, how did you get so good at vlogging? Any tips for people who want to start? Practice. Practice. Practice, practice. I know everybody says that, but it's very, very true. I've actually been experimenting with film and things like that since I was probably about 10. I used to write out these complete scripts, and then my sisters and I would make Barbie movies. Literally movies with our Barbies. I would write the entire script, probably 20-30 minute movie, and we would make our sets and film them, and then I would put it in Windows Movie Maker, which was the cool thing at the time, and I would edit it together. I think 2 of them made it all the way until being burned onto DVDs and everything. I really took it seriously. As far as vlogging goes, I've only been doing that since January, but even if you go back and look at my very first vlogs that I posted, you can tell, like, they're kind of bad. I mean, they're kind of rough. There's a lot that I would do differently now, and that's only in just a few months. So definitely my biggest advice to you is just experiment with it. Kitty's with Potty Mouths says you can take 5 books with you to a desert island. Decide those 5. Well, we're gonna have to have something Harry Potter, and I can't really count the whole series as one book. So let's go with Harry Potter 5. I'm reading Game of Thrones right now, and I really like it, and I have a feeling it's one of those I could read multiple times and still get something new out of, so let's bring Game of Thrones. This is really hard. If it's a desert island, then I'm probably going to be alone and freaked out of my mind, so let's bring The Notebook by Nicholas Sparks, because that will put me in a good mood. I would bring Aragon by Christopher Paolini. That's one of those books that I've loved since I was younger, so it would be kind of nice to reread it a few times. And then I'm gonna cheat a little bit and say my complete Shakespeare book with all the Shakespeare. Second part of the question, here's the twist. You're out of firewood. Which one do you burn first? Do I have to? I guess I would probably have to burn Game of Thrones just because I don't have a huge emotional attachment to that right now because I haven't finished it. So, gosh, I don't want to do that. Jessica Louise would like to know what course I did in college and what I'm doing now. I studied for a bachelor's in English, and I got minors in creative writing, shocker, and music. I've actually played violin since I was 5. And now, this fall, I'm going to be studying for a master's in English literature in England. She also would like to know how old I was when I began to write stories. I can't exactly remember just because I've been doing it for so long. I know I started my first fantasy novel when I was about 12. As far as short stories go, probably 8 or 9, I think. I used to write them all out and then I type them up in a document because I'm a techie and I'm a nerd like that. MillyPlay22 has a few questions. I'm going to answer a couple of them. What is your dream job? This one's really hard. Since I was little, I've wanted to be a writer. And I definitely want to be a published author. I have a lot of other interests too that I would really love, ideally, to be able to incorporate into some wonderful, beautiful job, but my main focus is still writing. She also asked if I watch any anime, and I don't right now. I've never actually watched any of it, but I'm really interested to sometime. Last question comes from Anonymous, and he or she asks, what kind of novels do you write, and can we have a snippet? I write young adult fantasy / sci-fi. I have written all different kinds of stuff. I mentioned that I studied creative writing in college, so I've written literary fiction, short stories, and all kinds of stuff. As far as a snippet goes, not right now. It could come sometime in the future though. Not making any promises. So that is it for Ask Andrea number 1. Thank you to everybody who submitted questions. Make sure you leave more questions down in the comments. I will be doing an Ask Andrea 2 at some point, so ask me stuff. I hope all of you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you guys later.